Customer expectation, obviously this is really, really important. And customer expectation, I'm talking about obviously about their vehicle. How's that changed over the years?
Over the years, the OE has made magnificent strides around safety in particular, but also the tolerances and the fine engineering that goes into a motor vehicle, right? When you take a motor vehicle on the road and you run it the 10,000 Ks and the light comes on that says you need a service, that's usually the first prompt to let you know you need a service. So the customer is now in a position where they're like, I need to spend some money. That might be an uncomfortable moment because they might not have an awful lot of it floating about. So it's a considered purchase almost, but they've got a light that's adding urgency. The ability to be able to understand that that's where the customer's at is really powerful.
I may be wrong here, but many years ago when I would get my vehicle serviced, I would get into the vehicle and it would feel different. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure I can put my finger on what it was. I mean, quite often they'd spray it with a nice spray. So obviously from that point of view, that was obvious and they'd vacuum it. But I'm just talking about maybe just in a general sense. Is that still happening?
It is, absolutely. And mechanics in the workshops in Australia do a fantastic job of looking after and loving their customers. But one of the things, the small things that we all forget because we're in the motor trade, is that customers jump into their vehicle and because they're so finely tuned, because they're so well built these days, it feels much the same as it did the day before. The only difference is they notice the bill missing from their bank account. Back in the day, we used to change the points and the rotor and the dizzy would be freshened up and you jump in and it'd start, it'd sing, it'd sound better, it'd smell better, it'd run better. You think you got a brand new car. Now you jump in, it feels much the same. So helping the customer understand the value that you've put in with your expertise as a mechanical workshop is really, really important.
It's key, isn't it? And that's part of good communication.
Absolutely.
Mechanic to customer.
100%. Being able to not only understand it to the nth degree, as most of our workshops will, but being able to actually explain that to a customer, that's where the art is.
Is there something off the top of your head that you could communicate to someone who's about to get back into their car that you guys or a mechanic has spent time on, that you can signal to them that they will notice immediately?
The most important thing for me when it comes to my vehicles getting serviced is the safety aspect. I'm putting my family in that motor vehicle and I need to know they're going to be okay. So explaining the things that we've done that make that vehicle safer and then helping the customer understand why that's important, that's stuff you can't buy. That peace of mind is priceless.
That's a really good point, and I think you've just touched on it, and I think we need to explore it even more, and that is it's okay to explain to the customer technically what you've done, but when you mentioned that point about the family being safe, that's humanising it.
Absolutely.
And that, from my point of view, is very comforting. Do you agree?
Absolutely. It's all well and good to spend the money, but you need to know why you're spending the money. And just getting rid of the light on the dash is just not enough.
You mentioned the little red light in the car, and I have to say, and I'm embarrassed to say this, Kev, but my little red light over the years has been on probably more times than it's been off. But anyway, that's my issue. That's not your issue. What about the future of the red light? Where's it heading?